So in today's lecture we'll cover all the 4 chapters, that is last 17, 18, 19 and 20 chapter. They are very short chapters and very simple. So first is a parallel operation of 3-phase alternators. So first you need to understand what is parallel operation of alternator. Sorry. So just consider this is one building. Okay. Now this building is supplied by one alternator. Okay, we are giving the supply through this alternator to this building. Now if the load, whatever the load is there of this building, is suddenly increased, then what we will do, this alternator is not able to provide or fulfill the load conditions of this building. Then what we need to do is we have to connect another one alternator, right? Because this is not able to fulfill this load condition. So what we did here, we connected another alternator in parallel with this first existing alternator. So this is called as parallel operation of alternator, or it is called as synchronizing of alternators. Now here what I did, I connected another one alternator with this first existing alternator. So this is nothing but the synchronizing of alternator. So what does it mean by synchronizing of alternator? So synchronizing of alternator means connecting second alternator in a parallel with first alternator. So we are going to connect these two alternators in parallel. So why there is a necessity of this synchronizing? Why it is required? So as I told you, as the load condition increases, we need to increase the number of alternators, right? This one single alternator cannot fulfill the load condition of this alternator. So what we need to do, we need to connect another alternator which is in parallel with this first alternator. So this is first necessity, that if the load condition increases, then we need to increase the number of alternators. There may be number of alternators as per as requirement. Now second necessity, if there is, now consider there is only one alternator which is providing the supply to this building. Now due to any fault or whatever happens, this alternator stops working. Then what will happen? Whole building, the supply will get lost, right? Because this is faulty. So to avoid this, what we can do, we can connect two, or as per as requirement we can connect the alternators. So if any one of this alternator is not working, another will work, right? Another will provide the supply to this building. That means there will be no complete shutdown in this building, because we are using two or a number of alternators that are connected in parallel. If there is one big unit, then what will happen? If there is any fault, then it will be not able to provide the proper supply. Now third point, for the maintenance purpose, if there is any maintenance that is to be done, so it will happen, if we will do the maintenance of this alternator, and this alternator will supply whatever it is there, it will supply this building. That means there will be no complete shutdown. So this is the main necessity of synchronizing the alternators. So did you get the point what is meant by synchronizing the alternator? That means connecting two alternators in parallel with the existing alternator. Now there are certain conditions for this parallel operation. When we can connect these two parallel alternators each other and turn on them, there are conditions. So conditions for parallel operation. Now here the alternators, this one is, we are going to connect new alternator. This is existing, that means it is already there in our circuit, and this one, that is incoming, we are going to connect it to our existing alternator. So this both must have same phase sequence, frequency must be same, and voltage must be same of these two alternators, right? If these three conditions are fulfilled, then this parallel operation will happen, or it will not happen. So voltage, how we will check the voltage? If the voltage of both the alternators are same, by using voltmeter. Frequency, by using frequency meter. And phase sequence, how we will check the phase sequence? So we have the methods. We have methods to check the phase sequence. So methods of synchronizing. First one is a lamp dark method, second one is a lamp bright method, and third one is synchronoscope. So we will see one by one. So first one is lamp dark method. So what we will do in this lamp dark method, so here you are seeing the two alternators. So this is the first alternator and this is the second alternator. This is our bus bar. Bus bar means what? It is the long metallic strip. Okay, it is the metallic or wire. So now here we are dealing with the three phase alternators. That means R, Y and B. This is the phase R, Y, B. This is the first alternator. This is the second alternator. This is our first alternator which is already existing. This alternator is already existing. And this second alternator that we are going to connect parallelly to the first alternator. We are going to do here parallel operation of three phase alternator. So what we are going to do? We will check voltage, we will check frequency by using voltmeter and frequency meter. Now we need to check the phase sequence. So phase sequence means R, Y, B, and whatever the magnitude is there, it must be same of these two alternators. So here what I did here, R, Y, B, I have given the phase whatever it is to the alternator 1. Now alternator 2 we are going to check the phase sequence. So here what I have did, in each phase here you can see R, Y, B. I have denoted R by red color, yellow, and this is blue for your understanding. So I have given blue to blue, yellow to yellow, red to red. Now here what I have did, I have connected the lamps. Here you can see lamps L2, L1, L3, right? I have connected here lamps in the alternator 2 which we are going to connect parallel to the first alternator. Okay, now here I have used lamps. So here I am using two lamps. Why two lamps? I am using here two lamps. Why? Because here we are giving a three phase supply, that is 440 volts, right? And our one lamp is unit is 230 or approximately 230 volts. That means if we give 240 to the single bulb, then what will happen? It will get damaged, right? So here we are using two bulbs. That means voltage will get divided. So this is the reason here you have to show the two lamps. Now here it has ICTP switch. So here when we turn on the ICTP switch, this will get connected. Now here we cannot turn on the ICTP switch. Why? Because after checking the phase sequence, frequency and voltage, if they are okay, then we can turn on. First we have to check whether our phase sequence is correct or not. So we should not turn on this switch. You can turn on this switch but not this switch. Now here I have connected lamps as per the given particular phase. Now what will happen? This lamp, they will glow. If the lamp will glow in this sequence, that this will glow bright, this will be dark, this will be dark, then that means there is something wrong with our phase sequence. Okay, there is something wrong with our phase sequence. Now what will happen? If this all three lamps will glow bright at the same time, then our phase sequence is okay. Okay, so our phase sequence is okay. If the phase sequence is not okay, then what will happen? This lamp will glow or this lamp will glow, afterwards this lamp will go. There will be no any same similarity. There must be similarity. That means all three lamps must glow at the same time and they must dim at the same time. Okay, that means our phase sequence is correct. So this is about the lamp dark method. So what is a drawback? It has one drawback. Drawback is it is difficult to judge exactly the moment at the middle of the dark. Whenever our three lamps get dark, the middle of that point is difficult to get. So this is the one drawback. So what is in lamp dark method? We have connected the lamps here in the phase. According to each phase we have given the lamps. Now if the lamps will glow at the same time, then our phase sequence is okay. But if the lamps will glow one after the other, then the phase sequence is not okay. So this is about the lamp dark method. Now lamp bright method. So here lamp bright method, what we are doing here, same, there are two alternators. This is one, this is second. First alternator is existing alternator, that means it is already in our circuit, and this second alternator we are going to connect it. So before connecting the alternator, we need to check the three conditions, that is voltage, frequency and phase sequence. So voltage will check it by voltmeter, frequency by frequency meter. Now we are going to check the phase sequence. Now this is the second method, lamp bright method. Now here what I have did here, similar to the earlier method, these are the lamps L1, L2, L3. But here the lamp that I have connected, this two phase Y and B I have interchanged, and this R is kept same. That means the lamp is connected between the R only, L3. And here these two phases I have interchanged the lamps. So here you can see the first terminal is to the B and the lamp is connected to another terminal is given to Y. Similarly here one terminal is to Y and another is given to the B. That means we have to interchange the lamps between the two phases. Okay. Now in this method, how you will check this ICTP switch we can on, but here we cannot on the ICTP switch. Now here first we'll check the phase sequence. If it is okay, then we will turn on the ICTP switch. Now here L1, L2 and L3. Whenever this two lamp, in this case, in this method, what will happen? L1 and L2, the interchanged bulbs. Then what will happen to interchange these lamps? Whatever the lamps we have interchanged, the connections we have interchanged, these two lamps will glow bright or dark simultaneously. Okay, if these two are bright, then this will be dark. Okay, if these two are dim, then this will be bright. That means this two will glow simultaneously and this will glow only single. Now here it has certain direction. So these are the lamps, our three lamps. These two are bright, this is dark. Now consider these two are bright, these two are bright and this is dark. Now it has direction. What does it mean by direction? That means it will rotate, this sequence will rotate clockwise or this sequence will rotate anti-clockwise. So if the incoming machine, this incoming machine is slow, then the lamp seems to travel in anti-clockwise direction. That means if these two lamps are bright, then this will be dark. Now these two lamps will be bright and this will be dark. So it will travel in anti-clockwise when this speed is slow. If the incoming machine is slow, and if the incoming machine is fast, then what will happen? It will travel clockwise. That means if these two are bright, this is dark. These two are bright, this is dark. That means it will travel in this way. So this is about the lamp bright method. Last method is synchronoscope method. So in this method, what we are going to do? Same, we are just going to use here synchronoscope. So this is our alternator 1, this is our alternator 2. A1 means which is already in existence, and A2 that we are going to connect the alternator in parallel to the first alternator. Before connecting, we need to check the conditions. We are checking here phase sequence. Now synchronoscope is similar to the motor. It acts as a motor. So in our motor we have stator part and rotor part. So same the synchronoscope has, it has 4 terminals. Here you can see this two and this two. Okay, so the rotor circuit of synchronoscope, as I told you, it acts as a motor. It has a stator part and it has a rotor part. So the rotor part of synchronoscope is connected to the supply of incoming alternator. So whatever the rotor part is there, it will be get connected to the supply of incoming alternator. And another two parts, that is a stator part. The stator part is connected to the bus bar. So this is our bus bar and it is connected to any two phases of this bus bar. Now here this synchronoscope is getting stator also and rotor also. It is getting supply to the stator and rotor. So what will happen? Stator and rotor both are getting supply. Rotating magnetic field will be created. That is RMF will be created. What will happen now? Rotating magnetic field will be created. Why? Because stator also is getting supply and rotor is also getting supply. Now, in first condition, if the field of stator and rotor is same, whatever the magnetic field is same, then our synchronoscope will indicate, or it will point towards the 0, right? It will give the null deflection. And if there is difference between stator and a rotor part, magnitude or whatever the magnetic field is created, if there is difference, then depending on that difference, our synchronous scope will indicate slow or fast. Okay, so this is in this synchronous scope method. So the indicator will show slow or fast depending upon the whatever there is difference between the magnetic field created between stator part and rotor part. So there is a prime mover. We have already learnt what is prime mover. We can adjust the prime mover and adjust the speed of this incoming alternator. So this is about the synchronous scope method. Moving to the last point from the last chapter, it is series and parallel testing board. So what is a series and parallel testing board? Basically this board is used by many of the electricians to test the appliance. Okay, to test the appliance, what we do, we use this testing board. So what type of faults are present in our electrical circuit? First fault, it may be open circuit fault. Second fault, it may be short circuit fault, or there must be leakage fault. So from this we can get to know that in our appliance it is open circuit fault or short circuit fault or leakage. How you will know? So this is the diagram of series and parallel test board. So here you can see this is the switch 1 S1, this is a switch S2. Here to the lamp 1, to the switch 1 we have connected a lamp, and here is 3-pin socket. So what we are going to do, whatever the appliance we are going to test, we are going to place that appliance here in 3-pin socket. Now take one iron. So what I am going to do, I am going to do test of that iron. Then what I will do, I will plug this iron here and I will check what kind of fault it is. Now here, first at the initial condition, both the switches are off. The both switches we have to turn off. Whatever appliance we are going to check, we are going to connect it in this socket. Okay, now whenever we turn on this switch, S1 switch, then what will happen? This lamp and this appliance will be in series with each other. Okay, now this lamp and our appliance is series with each other. Our appliance is connected here. Okay, we are going to test that appliance. Now if this lamp will glow dim, if it is dim, that means continuity is okay, there is no fault in our appliance. Are you getting? Depending upon the intensity of this lamp, we will check what the fault is there, we can know. So if the lamp is dim, that means our appliance is okay. The lamp shines dim. Why it will shine dim? Because voltage is getting divided between these two, appliance and lamp. That means it is okay. Now if the lamp will not shine, it is dark. Okay, it is dark. That means there is a fault. Which fault is there? That means it is discontinuity fault. Okay, there is something open or broken fault. That means a short circuit. Open fault. Okay, now third point. First what we saw, if the lamp is dim, that means it is okay, our appliance is okay. If the lamp is not shining or it is not working, it is a dark condition, that means there is open circuit fault. Okay, now third point, our lamp is bright, that means it is glowing very bright. Then what a fault is there? If lamp is bright, then appliance, the fault in the appliance is short circuit fault. Okay, it is short circuit fault. So what we learned, if the lamp is dim, that means our continuity is okay, our appliance is okay. If the lamp is dark, that means there is discontinuity, that is open circuit. And if the lamp is bright, very bright, that means there is short circuit fault. So this is about the series and parallel test board.